Hey everyone, welcome to NiteLife Exchanges, where we discuss all good things happening during the nightlife and piano bar and cabaret. And I can't do this alone. I'm going to bring on my co-host now, Tony Javid. Hey, come on, Tony.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Everything's going well.
Yep.
And you might note I'm in a different location again this week.
Man on the run.
I
don't know
am.
what you did, but you did it all right.
This hotel that I'm staying in has an indoor pool and a hot tub. So after all of this is done, I will be enjoying the rest of the evening. So Tony, I just wanted a couple of catch-ups here. I'm still reading this book, Leading Lady. This is Charles Bush wrote this book, and I'm almost done with it. And I'm at that point now where I'm actually slowing down reading it because I don't finish.
I hear that a lot, actually.
Amazon, folks, that's the way to go. Unless you do have a bookstore that's in your neighborhood, in which case, go to that.
Support
it's nice
them.
to have live bookstores and real places, brick and mortar. Also, Tony, I went to see an amazing show 2 nights ago at Chelsea Table and Stage. Chelsea Table and Stage is really putting together an incredible program. I want to congratulate Ben Rimlauer about really having a great lineup over there. And I got to see Megan Dwinnell, and it was incredible. She was amazing. She was amazing. And I've seen a lot of people perform on stages. I've seen Bette Midler, in concert live, Clams on the Half Shell, and then the Detour, because I'm old enough to have done that. I know that also, Prince, when I saw him live, incredible energy, and probably, there's no way you can't say that Patti LaBelle didn't have a room, and just amazing energy.
Enthralled, yeah.
You know what? This young lady, Meg Dwinnell, she's got it. She's got that kind of energy that she could play a stadium.
That's amazing. I mean that's a specific skill within all of those skill sets. So when you see it,
you can come and see her.
Great to hear.
Yeah, because she actually does a very nice homage to Ellen Stardust Diner because she's working there as a singing waiter. And what I will say is this, even if she's doing one song there, that energy is there. It was just that it was one after another, after it just built the energy. It was incredible. So keep an eye out for her, folks, and go see her.
Kudos.
Wherever you can. So go look at Chelsea Table and Stage. Look at their calendar. They have a lot of good stuff coming up. So we have a special guest today, but she doesn't go anywhere without this gentleman. But we're going to hang out a little bit, and we're going to talk with Mardie Millet today. And we had that opener, and we just put her picture in because it's just this next show that she's doing is her show. It's about her life, and even these things happened before she met Michael and made that incredible pair that they are. But so let's bring that video on. They'll see the folks at home. We did a little thing called Piano Bar Live back in the day, and we had them on several times when we were doing it. And so please take a look at this and just ignore the old guy at the end. Greetings to all of you internetians. This is Piano Bar Live, where we all connect with live music. The show starts now.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Thou swell, thou witty, thou sweet, thou grand, wouldst kiss me pretty, wouldst hold my hand. Both thine eyes are cute to what they do to me.
Eyes are up here, buddy.
Hear me holler, I choose a sweet Lollapalooza in thee.
I feel so rich in a hut for two rooms and kitchen. I'm sure would do. Give me just a plot of, not a lot of land. And thou swell, thou witty, thou grand.
rooms and kitchen.
What's a kitchen? I'm sure it will do. Give me just a plot of not a lot of land. Thou swell, thou witty, what's kissed me pretty? Thou swell, thou witty, thou grand.
Hey, Marty and Michael.
Hi, let me
Hey.
adjust my
What's
Taco
up?
Bat.
let me adjust my audio. How are ya?
I'm doing well. You guys are the
All right.
dynamic duo.
Well, we're a duo, all right.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
Good move. So there I am doing my David Letterman impression. So, hey, Marty and Michael, welcome.
You crossed the
Hey.
Rubicon. Did you notice? You crossed the Rubicon. You only needed your first names for the intro for everyone to
Yeah.
know who you are.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there it is.
And
Very
you are
exciting.
a dynamic duo. And boy, that was done during the middle of the pandemic, and we were keeping ourselves pretty busy. And I have to tell you, you guys had an incredible amount of work that you did. And I've had people say to me that didn't know me, that have met me since then, and I bet you've had the same thing happen. They thank me for all of the stuff that we did when that was happening and nobody could go out, bringing live music home to them. So I hope you know
Yes.
that.
It changed the way we perceive what we do and who we do it for.
Yes, it really did. It was for all of the difficulties that we all had and all of the struggles that we had. We were very lucky that we had each other. I still had my day job that I was able to do remotely. But artistically, it ended up being a time of great growth and discovery for us. And we got a blessing out of a global pandemic. I mean, I don't know if we deserved it, but we'll take it.
You deserved it.
Here,
Yeah.
here.
You deserved it, and you are, the right people. Sometimes good things happen, and the message that you have, that you bring, that you brought, that you continue to bring is the right message. And music is truly life and makes things better all the way around, no matter how bad things get. Music is something that pulls everybody through, and you make music. So
Couldn't
you have a
agree more.
show coming up. You have a new show that you worked on.
Yes.
And this one, right? And this one is called Sorry, Grateful. And I wanted, for me, I'm excited to have heard about it because that's intriguing and all of that. So, can you give us a little idea? I know that the bottom line is that you actually were pen pals, which I did not know, with Stephen Sondheim. So that's a pretty incredible beginning, right?
Yeah, it is pretty incredible, and I always knew that there were a lot of people that he wrote to. He was famous from the beginning for always writing back if people sent him fan letters, which is how I wrote to him to begin with. I knew somebody who had his address, and I was kind of a serial fan letter writer as a kid. When I was 13, I wrote a few fan letters to John Cullum, a great Broadway star. And he was a very nice man. He is still a very nice man, and wrote back to me. And then I discovered Sondheim. I heard the Sweeney
It was
Todd
you.
album for the first time when I was 13 years old, and got his address and wrote him a fan letter. And he wrote back and said, your observations are very astute for somebody so young, because I was this small town nerd that had no friends and did nothing but listen to show tunes all day and all night. And so I wrote back after that, and I don't know, we hit it off. I kept it going, and he always answered me. And now I was very conscious of sort of not bothering him as being a young teen, and him being like my idol. But it's worth noting that in 1980, Sondheim wasn't the god of musical theater that he has been for like the last 20 years or so. He was actually, it was kind of fashionable to put him down. He's a good lyricist, but his tunes aren't hummable, and his lyrics are too clever for their own good. It was very fashionable for people to look down on him. And so he was a lot more accessible. He didn't have a lot of celebrities didn't fawn all over him like they did for the last several years of his life. So it was a lot easier for somebody like me to sort of just slip in what we would call now sliding into his DMs. And
Precisely.
strangely enough, we ended up having this real human to human correspondence. He happened to be working on Merrily We Roll Along at that time. And the original concept of Merrily We Roll Along was going to be untested, untried, non-professional teenagers playing all of these roles from teen to 40s. That's a terrible idea, if I do say so myself. And they reconsidered it and ended up casting older people. But before they changed their minds, Sondheim invited me to come to New York and audition for the show. And I was, at that time, a 14-year-old doing community theater in Shadyside, Ohio, population 3,000. So my mom and I came here to New York, and I auditioned for a Broadway show. And I was because of scheduling and when I could be here, I was at like the final callbacks. It was incredible.
Incredible. That's a wonderful story. And now I'm just curious. So all of the letters that you wrote, did you make copies of those before you would send them, or did you have obviously have all the letters he returned to
I
you?
have his letters. Yeah.
An incredible package there. So and the gentleman next to you, Michael Garin, is somebody that you had to convince
Yes.
to work on this project, huh?
Michael is not a natural Sondheim fan. Michael's taste in music runs to the can I make people dance to it if I play it on the piano variety.
My guiding light in popular music has always been, does it make me want to move? And so I am sort of late to the Sondheim party, we'll put it that way. And when Mardie was getting me involved in her musical world, and I was getting her involved in my musical world, I realized that a lot of the issues that I had with Sondheim were certainly not lyrical, but there was elements of the music that I didn't think hit me. And so I, to use the vernacular, put some junk in the trunk.
And when we decided to do this show, I said, I could hire another musical director. If I want to do Sondheim as writ,
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I certainly see the value in that, and I may yet do a show like that down the road. But I finally realized that I can use Michael as an asset rather than a liability, because Michael plays entirely by ear. He reads music, but not fast enough to be able to sit down and play Sondheim at sight. And he listens to the stuff. He'll listen to something a couple of times, and then he's got it.
But I got it
his way.
Yeah.
So when
An
he
interpretation of what you heard.
And so when he plays, even our title song, Sorry Grateful, it's one of the first Sondheim songs that we ever did together. We used to do it when we were doing our shows from home during the pandemic, and once we were back out among people at the West Bank Cafe. The way Michael plays it gave me a new way of singing it. And instead of it's another one of the things that I learned during the pandemic. Instead of seeing Michael's way of doing things as, well, he doesn't play it the way I'd like to hear it, to just say, this is what I've got. This is the guy I live with. If I want to sing Sorry Grateful, it's going to be played his way. Is there something I can do that will enhance my knowledge and interpretation of this song and enhance the audience's experience of this song without compromising what he wants out of it or what I want out of it? And I'll tell you, the necessity of that, well, necessity is the mother of invention. I didn't write that one.
Right.
I love that.
From a piano and musical perspective, I had heard a series of attempts to sort of jazz Sondheim, and I said no, funk Sondheim.
Yeah, I never liked the jazz Sondheim either.
And
He makes it rock and roll.
So to me, what I add is somewhere between Keith Richards and the Ohio Players to kind of get. And now, for all you Sondheim freaks out there, you want to hear something different, come on by, because you've never wanted to dance to Everybody Says Don't until we do it.
See,
Or
I love
Losing
this,
My
by the way.
Mind.
Oh, well, there you go.
I
But
love
it's nice to hear that you're it's nice to hear, because I am one of those Sondheim people, those people. However, I think even he would say, well, now don't be so precious about this.
Right.
The whole
Right.
point of interpretation is to interpret. So kudos to you.
with as many Sondheim shows, and gosh, we know there was so many of them when he passed. Everybody was doing a tribute. There were a couple that stood out. Sean Patrick Murtaugh did a nice take on things when he did all of the Sondheim female songs, but it's nice to see that there's going to be something that's a little bit different, because that's exactly right. I'm sure he would probably be intrigued by the fact that there's somebody taking what he's done and interpreting it in their way. That's what it's really truly about. So
He always seemed to enjoy the personal takes on his stuff. I mean, he loved the fact that people wanted to delve into it, because like all of us, he wrote this stuff because he wanted to be understood and he wanted to be heard.
right,
And that's one of the themes that I explore in my show, because Sondheim, well, the blurb that we wrote for this particular show at the Laurie Beachman is a nerdy teenage kid in a small town in Ohio whose best friend is Stephen Sondheim.
right,
But the take on it is, I was bullied. I was alone. I was sort of, I like to say, I was the Marilyn Munster of my family. I was the only one who was into anything artistic. And not that my family were terrible people, they just didn't get me.
Right.
And nobody in Shadyside, Ohio got me. Well, hardly anyone in New York does either. But that's not really true anymore. That's why we get into this, isn't it? We want to be understood.
Yeah.
We want to be heard. And I've always chosen songs to sing whose lyrics said things that I wanted to say in ways that I couldn't. And that's why Sondheim's work always appealed to me. I heard something like Anyone Can Whistle and said, there's somebody who knows what it's
Right.
like to be a stranger in your own home. Michael does a take on that too, on that very song. When I sing it, he plays an interlude, and I don't want to give it away. Through our discussions of what the songs meant to me, Michael has come up with some really wonderful musical commentary. And that's a lot of what Michael Garin brings to the table, is musical commentary. And he adds another perspective, and it's been a help to me to put this show together in a way that is unlike anything you're ever going to hear.
So, yep, I highly recommend, folks, that you see Sorry Grateful. The information down there on the bottom at the Laurie Beachman. Saturday, October 28th at 9:30 p.m. You're going to see something. I know they're going to see something different, because you guys just do always cutting edge and different. I'm curious, through the letters that you read, Marty, he had a good sense of humor about himself, no?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And that's all. I've always heard that about his communications.
We joked together a lot, and when I did my first cabaret show in 2001, I had just a couple of his numbers in there, and he didn't come. He wasn't able to come to that show. Yeah, he was in Connecticut most of the time. But I told him my song list, and I was doing "See What It Gets You," the 11 o'clock number from Anyone Can Whistle. Take one step and see what it gets you. See. And my musical director for that show was the late and beloved Ken Lundy. And Ken played the hell out of those songs. But when I told Steve what song I was doing, he goes, out of my entire catalog, you're doing See What It Gets You? I said, that's the one that applies most to my life. And he said, all right, well, I'm not sure what that says about you, but that's very interesting.
Your director for this show, the director for this show that you're doing at the Laurie Beachman, is Eric Michael Gillette.
That's
And we're good. We're happy to see him back and directing, and feeling better. I think he's getting ready to launch into a lot of projects. So
Yes.
welcome back, Eric, and we're happy to have you as part of this big cabaret world that creates again and makes everybody so happy. And in order to pay the bills, folks, you want to make sure to put on your calendars a trip down to the Roxy Hotel, because there you can see Michael 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesdays through Saturdays, working his magic. And it is magic, Michael. I know you for a good long time, and from the Monkey Bar and all of the other machinations and going through things and all. And you're an incredible piano player and a very entertaining fellow.
I am now beginning my 7th year at the Roxy Hotel, which in let's like talking about dog years in regular employment that's like 20.
Yeah.
So they really treat me wonderfully. Everybody at the Roxy Hotel is treated better than almost any venue I've ever been a part of. So
That's
kudos
great to hear.
them.
Yeah.
And including the
nice to
customers,
hear
everybody
when,
has a great time there.
Yeah, it's
and
nice
the
to hear
other-
when a venue takes care of the people that are working in it. It really is.
Exactly.
And the customers.
When the pandemic hit, they said, "Do you have a piano in your apartment?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "Broadcast on our Instagram page. We'll keep you on salary as long as we can."
So
There you
that's
go.
a good employer.
Wow.
That is
Right.
an excellent employer.
So, and because of the way the Roxy is in terms of attracting, you never know who's going to walk through that door. I'm happy to announce that beginning in 2024, I will be featured on the upcoming album of A$AP Rocky. So I am now a hip hop star. I know
It was
when you
bound
see
to
me,
happen.
It had to happen.
Inevitable.
So, I mean, he heard me play, and I didn't know who he was, and I thought he was a kid working on a demo, and before you know it, I'm in an SUV with a bodyguard on my way to Electric Lady Studios.
Nice.
And I went,
See how the
this
other half
guy?
lives, huh?
Boy, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So we're happy
That is
about
incredibly
that.
neat.
And Mardie and I are working on a fantastically wonderful new project.
Put that up,
a
Tony. We have that.
musicalization of
Well-
Ed Sorrell's book.
Yeah.
This is the book that our musical is based on, Mary Astor's Purple Diary, The Great Sex Scandal of 1936. Spoiler alert, it ain't that scandalous now.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
but
I'm guessing.
it's an adorable story. It's a kind of a fairy tale for adults. It's about old Hollywood and
Yeah. It's a fairy tale for grown-ups who like to read.
Well, yes.
It might be a limited audience these days.
all of Broadway is a limited audience these
So
days.
one of the things that happened was Mary Astor was accused by her ex-husband of keeping a diary that listed her side guys in order of excellence, and I don't mean table manners.
Yeah.
You don't.
So number one with a bullet was George S. Kaufman, which is like finding out Neil Simon
Wow.
did porn.
Yeah.
Wow.
He did?
So that's why
Not that we know
that's
of.
why our show has the Algonquin Roundtable Dick Joke song.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, and you can
All right.
hear it on our
There's a
website.
release. Hey, so listen, it's been a pleasure to see the both of you and to catch up. I will
Thank
see
you
you at
so
the
much for
Beachman.
having
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, I definitely will see you at the Beachman. Again, all you Sondheim fans and people that aren't Sondheim fans, you should get there because you're going to hear something that may actually make you a Sondheim fan, a little bit of a
That-
different take on
And the,
stuff.
As
and
you
the
should be.
Stories are fun. Stories are fun and funny.
Yeah.
We have a great time. We always have a great time together.
And then join us at the bar after the show.
Excellent. And yes, the West Bank is a wonderful bar and great food, but we don't do advertisements, but we like to pop in promos wherever we can. Truly, the West Bank's a great one. So,
Mhm.
all right, enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll
You
see
too.
you at the Beachman.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much.
Keep it all the great stuff coming, guys. We love it.
Thanks. Always
You
a
got a deal.
pleasure.
Bye now.